We're going to bust some of those myths and misconceptions, and we're going to talk about exactly what Laser Clinics has to offer. Let's start with you, Caitlin. You are head of the laser hair removal division. Can I ask you, who can get laser hair removal and when is it a good time?
So everybody can potentially get laser hair removal. The only people that might be a little bit out of luck is if you have blonde hair, gray hair, white hair, potentially red hair as well. But when it comes to skin type and hair texture, that is absolutely fantastic. We can treat you all.
All right, Shameeza, if I were to walk into Laser Clinics Canada right now and say, I'm really interested in getting some injectables, but I don't know where to begin, how would we go about the process of informing me on what's right for me?
Absolutely. So the first step in your injectables journey is a fulsome, holistic consultation. Our consultations take about 30 minutes where we really understand what your goals are, what you're looking to achieve, and then our dedicated nurses or nurse practitioners will create a plan that works for you.
All right. Dr. Jalil, you are a very busy man. You are constantly, in the hospital or you are traveling for your work. Tell me what your role is specifically with Laser Clinics Canada and how often are you at the clinic?
So I'm kind of the head of the medical side of things, making sure that everything that we do is keeping the patient safety in mind, making sure that there's protocols in place to make sure everything is efficient and giving the patients the best experience that they can have possible. Everybody's kind of already touched upon it, but there's over 200 clinics, 6 clinics alone in Ontario. So you have to have separate divisions all working in harmony. So we have our Inject side, we have our laser side, we have our skincare side. So taking that on is obviously a big undertaking, and we have to make sure that it's done safely.
Right. So how does Laser Clinics Canada ensure that they're up to the medical standards of today?
That's where we come in. So basically, we always are evidence-based. So we're looking at the medical literature. We're working with our vendors. We're finding out the new products that they have available, what efficacies they have, what treatments that they have. And then we bring it into laser clinics. And we also have something called a MAC, or a Medical Advisory Committee. That's a committee that we work with in England, Australia, Singapore, Canada. All those people work together to make sure that it achieves the highest standard available. And then we bring it in to be distributed to our customers.
But then breaking it down to what a patient would see in clinic during a consultation, and when you're ready for treatment, your nurse will call either a nurse practitioner or a physician who will then be able to prescribe, because our treatments are medical treatments. That's why they're prescribed by medical professionals. So you'll have a nurse who's going to then be able to call a prescriber who will make sure that you are a good candidate for the treatment that you're receiving.
What should first-timers consider when coming to see you?
Biggest thing for us is they have to come freshly shaved. If there are hairs poking out of that skin, I can't treat you. So that's a big thing for us, is come in with a fresh shave, ideally 24 hours beforehand, and then plan your week accordingly. So no hot yoga the night of, definitely not tomorrow either. Let that skin live in the moment of the energy that's just been imparted to it.
I think one of the most common questions is, how long does it take to see results when you get an area treated?
On average, we see about 6 to 8 treatments is when people start noticing a massive difference in how much hair is regrowing and how much less time they spend shaving.
And so when would be the best time to get laser hair removal treatments?
Kind of right now. This is the perfect time. We're transitioning into fall. I know everyone hates to hear that, but it is getting cooler, so we're out in the sun less, so that skin is protected from sun, which is great. And then when it comes around to spring and summer, you're ready for all of your favorite outfits.
Let's talk about injectables a bit more, because I think a lot of people, I was talking about aging gracefully. What is the difference between anti-wrinkle and fillers for people who are considering both?
I usually classify them in separate categories. So anti-wrinkle is usually neurotoxin based. So neurotoxin based can be anything from like your Botox or your Dysport or any of one of those brands. And that's solely focused on treating a wrinkled area, like either around your eye, on your forehead, or in between your brow. Those are the commonly treated areas. And so when we go aside from that, we also have areas that filler are more responsible for. So filler is essentially bringing in some volume or rejuvenating an area that you've lost because of maybe aging, and you've lost a little bit of soft tissue, and some areas now need a little bit more of a volume return. Common areas with that would be including like your cheek and just trying to elevate that a little bit. So those are two big categories that we try to address at laser clinics.
Shameeza, we've had many conversations, and you're very passionate about what you do. Tell me what it is that, makes you go to work every day and love what you do for a living?
One of the values of Laser Clinics Canada is to feel good in your skin. We really want everyone to be happy about who they are, feel comfortable and confident. And being able to see that change that we're able to make in people's lives every day is very, very rewarding. I come from the hospital background, which was equally as rewarding, but it's just a different kind of respect that you have for this profession.